What this represents is our life, our week. How many people know, how many hours do you get in a week? I see phones coming out. Hey Siri, how many hours in a week? 168. Oh, I didn't hear you. You got it? All right, 168 hours in a week. Man, that sounds like a lot, right? That sounds like a lot. We have all of us. None of us are shorted. Every single one of us gets 168 hours. Now, there are some things in this 168 hours that we have to do. For example, my first cup here. We have to sleep. Now, mind you, what I'm breaking down here is a poll that was done based off of American Christians' lives, how they spend their time. So we're going to be different. Not everything is going to align with who we are and how we spend our lives, but for the vast majority of American Christians, this is how we celebrate, or I shouldn't say celebrate, spend our lives. Each cotton ball represents 1 hour of our life. So all of us have to sleep. So the average Christian American sleeps 59 and a half hours a week, which leaves us, if we do the math, 168 minus 59 and a half leaves us with 108.5 hours left. So if we put our sleep, we all got to do this. Is this corny yet? All right. I stuffed these in. They didn't even fit. There's so many. So this is literally, I counted them all out yesterday. This is 60. We don't have half a cot. Well, here, we can make it fair. There, half an hour. That one's not there. So the next thing we all have to do, for the most part, is in some capacity, we all go to work or school. Some of you are retired, but you've replaced work or school with other things, hobbies, interests, things like that. The average Christian American spends about 40 hours a week at work or at school. Mercy's saying, no, how about 60? So that would leave us, if the average is 40, that would leave us now with 68 and a half hours of our life left. So here we go. Let's put in 69. I'm not going to rip it up again. 69 cotton balls. All right, so the next thing that most of us have to do, especially if we're working or going to school or doing any hobbies, is we have to do prep. So this is eating your breakfast, ironing your clothes. How many people iron clothes? Just a couple. I cannot leave the house without my clothes being ironed. Some of y'all are lazy, just throw it in the dryer on fluff. Like, just get an ironing board. It's cool. You'll love it. This is making your meals, packing your lunch. This is driving in the Miami. Awful traffic. So I think for us in Miami, this would probably be higher, but on average, it's about 21 hours the average Christian American spends doing these things. Again, this is pretty mandatory. So here we go, 21 more hours. This leaves us with 47 and a half hours left in our week. So now we get to this one, our chores. Our chores. Now, some of you kids think I hate chores. Parents are thinking I don't do chores, but yes, you do. You go to the grocery store, you go get gas in your car, you do a lot of little things. I think this is kind of low as well. The average Christian American spends 7 hours a week doing chores. So it leaves us now with 40.5 hours left. Let's drop those in the bucket. Now, this is the most important cup. Because these things, like I said, for the most part, we can't skip these. We got to do them. This is where we decide, what is our life about? We have about, 40.5 hours left. What is our life going to count for? And here's what the average American Christian spends it on. Social media, 17 and a half hours a week. This is Snapchat. This is Twitter. This is TikTok. This is Facebook. Some of y'all live on Facebook. Like, I'll put something up and it's like instantly the same person over and over. Just not in here, but somebody outside in my family. It's like I'm putting something up and I don't post often. It's like, what do you just like live, sleep, and die Facebook? It's weird. This is our social media addictions. We're laying in bed, we're watching something or chatting with our friends. So that leaves us, if we're spending on average 17 and a half hours a week, this now leaves us with 23 hours to our life left. The next thing on the list is leisure that the average American Christian did was spent 22.75 hours a week watching YouTube, television shows, or sporting events. And you know what's left after this? A quarter of an hour after we add this into this bucket. Now, you want to wonder why. Come on, get out of there. You want to wonder why this last one is always neglected. God. The average American Christian spends an hour doing anything for God, mainly coming to a Sunday worship service. Now, if you're doing the math like I did, I was like, wait, we're at a negative now. A negative 45 minutes. This is why the average Christian comes to church once or twice a week. This is why the average Christian doesn't do much more for the Lord, because they've drowned out the Lord over here with everything else they're doing, especially their leisure time. How are we going to know the Lord and His will and His commands for our life if this is what He's getting? I don't know why, but I thought the Lord would be green today. So the green one. So imagine now, we put this in the midst of our life, bury it. What did we just do to God? Come on, y'all are smart. What did we just do to God? We buried Him, right? Now let's talk about influence. If we want to be believers, if we want to follow the Lord with our heart, like I think most of you will complain or would proclaim, how are we doing that if He's sitting here buried? How are we doing that if Snapchat is what's influencing us, and YouTube is what's influenced us, and Fox News is influencing us, and CNN is influencing us, and everything else is influencing us, but God's Word is buried and now no longer has any influence on our lives?